Welcome to the BVTV Network, coming to you from the UK studios of BizVision. I'm your host, Malcolm Gallagher. Now, this is episode 3 in the BVTV More Source Madam Trilogy with hospitality expert and author Geoffrey Paris. Welcome back, Geoff.
Hi, Malcolm.
This is our final chat, but I tell you, this is such a great book. I'm having to go back over it again, and I'm enjoying it. So I'm hoping that we're going to get a good summer here in Northumberland, so I can sneak outside and catch up and read even more of it. Now, just let's talk about this channel that we've got here, Hospitality Today, because I think that the sector's changed and is changing, not just with the people in its workforce, such as the Generation Zers, but also through enhanced professionalism and better leadership, particularly in the larger chains. So what new or enhanced skills do you think today's hospitality manager needs to learn and to hone?
Well, I want to start really by talking about myself for a minute, about my experience. So, as a child, I still have epilepsy, but I'm epileptic, and also had asthma as a child. So, and I was very shy as a youngster. So, and my educational life was really, really limited. So, going out into this industry was quite difficult. None of the chain hotels would touch me because of my epilepsy, all that sort of thing. So this early part of this book is really through my life, through achieving these things, which I found very difficult, up to becoming a general manager. So that leads me on to mental health, because these days, the staff all have mental health issues. Back in the day, 40 years ago, it didn't exist. So you either got on with it or you didn't. There's no leeway. There's no oh, well, he's not feeling well, let's give him time off. You just got on with it. So these days, the managers these days have to be so considerate and in tune with people who have mental health problems. And they all, well, not all, but there's more of them. You've got staff who have alcohol problems and or drug problems. That's quite common in this industry, so you have to deal with all that. For instance, one hotel I worked at on New Year's Eve, one of the bar staff had bought her own bottle of vodka in. So when they were having a cigarette break, they were drinking it. So 3 of them were drunk. So they all quit on the spot. New Year's Eve, you're busy, so all the management had to go behind the bar. So you have to deal with those sorts of things. And anything, do you fire them or don't you? Because you need them. There are changing family habits as well, which managers have to take into account now. And COVID, that's the main thing. COVID thing is a whole new ball game. And monkeypox now is going to be the next thing. So. I certainly wouldn't like to be a manager now. It's so hard, It's so hard with the staff, getting the staff.
And the economic challenges at the moment, and the competition is really strong out there, particularly from the budget hotel chains as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Well. When budget hotel chains came to Torquay, we thought, oh my God, how can they? But actually, it's better because it's actually advertising the area.
Yes,
So we actually thought, oh, well, maybe it's a good thing after all. So budget hotel chains, they're a good thing. And actually, they make privately owned hotels up their game because budget hotel chains have standardized rooms, whereas traditional hotels might have smaller rooms. So in a way, it's encouraging the rest of the industry to certain standards.
I want to ask you then about these skills of today as a hospitality manager, because I think they are more numerate skills now, you know, managing and understanding the data compared to, you know, beforehand when the old computer systems were clunky. Now the computer systems are throwing out well in advance those gaps or low occupancy periods, aren't they?
Yeah. Oh, certainly. Certainly beneficial. So technology is good up to a point. You don't want. I'm totally against automatic check-in and check-outs, because that's the time when, say, with the checkout, for instance, that's when it's your opportunity to upsell for the next time. You can talk to the customer, get feedback, blah blah blah, and you want to have a nice smiling face at reception, which, by the way, isn't mine. You know, a robot, automatic checkout or check-in can't do that. But certainly, in terms of making bookings, it's far quicker now with automated, like modern systems.
Yeah, but as you quite rightly say, you need to put some customer experience in. For many years, I've delivered what I call the BAD program, which stands for bookings, arrivals, and departures, because I think that's where people have the worst experience, you know. And it's quite simple for a receptionist to learn that if somebody comes in with a suitcase, that you don't say to them, "Are you checking in?" You know, because the customer's thinking, no, I just like standing here in your foyer with my trolley dolly, don't I? You know, learning and understanding today's social skills, I think, are quite important. Thanks, Geoff. Now let's give viewers and listeners details of your URL, your website address, which obviously viewers you can see on the screen behind me, but for listeners, let me spell it out for you. It's all the W's dot Geoff, which is GEOFF, geoffparis.com. And for the final time, let me remind you about Geoff's book. It's called More Sauce, Madam, The Adventures of a Hotel Manager, and it's published by Mirio Books. I definitely think it's a fun read, and anybody that really wants to be involved in the hospitality business, have a read through, because don't put aside the challenges that Geoff's had, because that's just part of the experience. You will just have a myriad of stories to tell as you journey through the life of hospitality, compared to just, say, sitting in an office typing away all day. There's so much more I want to chat with Geoff about his book, but after all, cramming 40 years into a short trilogy is just hard. But I trust what you've heard has inspired you to be attracted, or even to remain in the exciting sector of hospitality. Thanks, Geoff, for a great BVTV trilogy.
Thanks, Malcolm. Thank you very much.